Hello guys, my name is Dipan Vats and today I will explain some of the examples related to asymptotic notations. So as we look at the first example, we can see that there is a main function a and there is a for loop which is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n. Then there is a simple print function which is saying print hello. Now as you can see that because of the for loop in this program, hello will be printed n times. That's why the whole program is running n times, and because of this its time complexity will be order of n. And if you remember, this is the second characteristics of the analysis of loops. Now before we do the second example, I would like to remind you guys, when I teach you about the iterative algorithms, then I told you that when we are solving them for the time complexity, then we only look for the loops in the program. We don't bother about the number of statements. So on the basis of this, if we look at the next example, we can see that there is a main function and there are two statements, a equals to 1 and b equals to 2. Then there is a for loop which is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n. Then there are two statements, a plus b equals to c and print c. So in this example, as I told you guys before, that we don't look for the number of statements. We only look for the number of loops in the algorithm. So in this algo, there is only one for loop which is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n. So the time complexity will be order of n. But if we want to see that how this answer came, then we can see that there are two statements, a equals to 1 and b equals to 2, which are outside the loop. So we'll consider them as 1 plus 1. Now as we go inside the loop, we can see that there are again two statements which are a plus b equals to c and print c, which will run n time because of the loop. So they will be considered as n plus n. Now if we want to calculate the total time complexity, then 1 plus 1 plus n, which will become 2 plus 2n. Now the asymptotic time complexity of this polynomial equation is order of n. So that's why that answer came. Now let's look at the next example, in which we can see that there are two for loops which are in the nested form. We can see that the first loop is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n, and the second loop is running from j equals to 1 to j equals to n. Inside the second loop there is a print function which is saying print hello. Now as you can see that there are two loops which both are running n time. That's why hello will be printed n cross n times. So the time complexity will be order of n square. In the case of nested loop, you should keep that in mind, that the time complexity will change according to the number of loops. As the number of loops increases or decreases, then the time complexity will also increases or decreases in terms of power of n. But you should keep that in mind that all the loops should have the same condition. Only then the time complexity will change in terms of power of n. So now let's look at the next example, in which we can see that there is a for loop which is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n, and so that's why it is running n times. The second loop is running from j equals to 1 to j equals to I, so that's why this loop is dependent upon the first loop. Third loop is running from k equals to 1 to k equals to 100, so it is running constant time, 100 constant time. And in the end there is a function which is saying print hello. Now if we try to analyze this problem stepwise, then for I equals to 1, j will run one time and k will complete 100 cycles one time, and hello will be printed 1 cross 100 times. Now after that, when I equals to 2, j will run 2 times and k will complete again 100 cycles 2 times. Similarly, when I equals to 3, j will run 3 times and k will complete 100 cycles 3 times, so on and up to so on. Up to I equals to n. When I equals to n, j will run n times and k will complete 100 cycles n times. Now if you want to find the time complexity, then we have to analyze the pattern. So to find the pattern, we add them all and it would become like 100 plus 200 plus 300 plus 400 and up to so on, plus n into 100. Now let's take out the 100 common and we will get 100, and inside the bracket there will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to so on plus n. Now this is nothing but the sum of n natural number. That's why we will get 100, and inside the bracket there will be n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Now the biggest term in this equation is 100 n square divided by 2. So the time complexity will be order of n square. Now let's look at the next example, in which there is a for loop which is running from I equals to 1 to I equals to n. So it is running n time. Next loop is running from j equals to 1 to j equals to I square. So it is dependent upon the first loop. And the last loop is running from k equals to 1 to k equals to n by 2. That's why it is running n by 2 times. Now if we try to analyze the algorithm then and try to find the pattern for the time complexity, then for I equals to 1, j will run 1 time and k will complete n by 2 cycles 1 time. After that, when I equals to 2, j will run 4 times because it is dependent upon the I, and k will complete n by 2 cycles 4 times, and up to so on. Now if we add all these to find the pattern, then it will become n by 2 plus 4 into n by 2 plus 9 into n by 2 plus 16 into n by 2 and up to so on plus n square into n by 2. In this, n by 2 is common, that's why it will come out, and the equation will become n by 2, and inside the bracket there will be 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus and up to so on plus n square, which is nothing but the sum of n square natural number. So again we get the pattern. So that's why it will become n by 2, and inside the bracket there will be n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 2, which is nothing but the formula for the sum of n square natural number. So the biggest term in this polynomial equation is n to the power of 4. That's why the time complexity would be n to the power of 4. Just keep that in mind, that when this type of question come in your exam, then you have to add all the values so that it will form some kind of a pattern. And that pattern must have some fixed formula which will give you a polynomial equation, and then you just have to choose the biggest value through the polynomial equation, and that will be your answer. So for this tutorial, this is enough. I will do some more example in the next video. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.